RBVC is Robert Bosch Venture Capital. We are the venture arm of Bosch, and we invest in startups on behalf of Bosch. Our main goal is to introduce innovation into Bosch, and we do it in two ways. The first one is by investing. We meet thousands of startups every year. Out of these startups, we're looking for those that have a good fit or strategic fit with Bosch and what Bosch needs, as well as our belief as investors that these companies would have very good or very high return on our investments. And we invest in those companies and sit on the board of directors and participate in their ongoing growth in order to eventually benefit during an exit. The second way we introduce innovation into Bosch, and that's the key one, is by introducing all those relevant startups that we meet into Bosch. Out of those thousands of startups, there are many that are relevant for areas that Bosch is active in. And we propose both to the startup and the company, and to Bosch as well, to start some sort of dialogue and start proof of concepts, POCs. And we actually have 3 dedicated team members in the RBVC team whose job is to facilitate those POCs and those kind of cooperations. Clear.ML is one of our investments, and we sit on the board of this company.
Clear.ML is an open source infrastructure for data science and AI in general. It helps companies build their own bespoke solution on top of the open source offering that we have. Basically, their own layer on top of the workflow management, really end-to-end approach to data science, from the research through engineering throughout, and ending with full productization of their data science models into the product that they're building. Let's take company X, for example, so without naming names. The entire adoption is very grassroots. So they started by building their own data science team. And the data science team was looking for solutions for their day-to-day workflows, trying to add some traceability into the process of data science, which is a very nonlinear process, a lot of trial errors. We have to have multiple data sources, models, etc. And this is where they started adopting Clear.ML as a solution to build their data science workflows on top of it, with very little integration to the workflow and a lot of value in terms of the management of this entire process, introducing visibility into the data science process, which is very hard because it's always hard for an outsider to understand what's going on with the data science team, and we have to have that inside the corporate itself. After about 6 months, when they grew and the process, and they started adopting the process more widely inside the company, they came to us as a customer looking for a way to scale this effort. Since we are building it, the entire open source, we help them scale it internally. So they were able to take their on-prem installation of Clear.ML, and we help them scale up into production size, connecting all their different compute capabilities, data sources, etc. So they can start to automate this entire process and really introduce the models into their own products. Now, for us, obviously, customers is always the bottom line that we have to collect as many as possible. But actually, the main benefit is the feedback that we're getting from those customers, and especially from corporates. Actually, those guys gave us not only feedback on features, which we collect all the time from open source users and companies using, but also on use cases that are more tailored towards corporates. One of them is something that they came up, their need to actually introduce the workflows into non-engineers inside the company, somehow package this entire workflow in a way that other non-engineers can reuse it, so they can use the workflows that the data science team developed and reuse it on different data sources, different models, test it on different scenarios, etc. And this new feature actually we packaged and is just now rolling out in the new version of Clear.ML.
I guess Bosch, kind of like many other corporates and large companies, have the tendency to develop their product from the ground up. And sometimes this even includes the infrastructure and the development tools that they need. Sometimes they do it because they're not aware of what is out there, and in other cases, they think that they have a specific need that the products that are out there cannot really help them. And I guess once they are exposed to it and they realize the value, they can vacate all those resources that were working on this kind of product into other more productive work for them and better utilize the resources. And therefore, being able to adopt such infrastructure, such as Clear.ML, instead of rewriting it from scratch, has a big benefit for Bosch. I guess my advice to corporates would be, don't try to do everything on your own, and be open to innovation and be open to collaborating with startups, because there's so much out there that can really help you achieve your goals more efficiently and perhaps quickly.
I would say start small and look for open source offerings that you can scale on top with companies actually backing them. So when you do decide to scale your effort, you'll get help, outside help, to very quickly build your solution on top of it, instead of going into the maintenance of the open source project. So don't not only select something that is open, but select something that you know that you can get support for when you actually need to build more sophisticated stuff on top.